Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video. In this video I'm going to be covering some of the changes I've made to the Media Engine library in the last sort of day or so. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So in the Media Engine library, which I'm going to be using in Minecraft PSP, basically what we've added is a bunch of sort of functionality to it now. So it now has a very well-defined idea to it. Alongside it also has a lot more functionality. So what I've added is basically an entire job manager and a job system. So basically you can create your own jobs. These are basically in the form of a job function, which is just an integer function that has a specific data package alongside of it. The job structure is what helps you convey this information, and each job structure has its own information packet inside of that, and you gotta put in some of the basic information on how you want the job manager to execute it. For example, you have options to run it on the media engine versus the main CPU. Alongside, you also have some more specific things, such as the priority. Also, in this structure, you're going to be putting in some of that job information. So you're going to pass a reference to the job function, which is going to be able to basically deliver the job, alongside a reference to any of the data that the job manager function uses. In your job manager function, it takes in this integer, which is going to give you the address to the data packet. This way you just cast that into your normal data packet, and you can go ahead and work with whatever data you've used inside of that packet. So once you've really defined and fleshed out your job, which would be an extension of the job class, what you're going to be able to do is that you're going to be able to just go ahead and pass that in. So you're going to create a new job, then you're going to basically pass it into the add job function. So the add job function is part of the global job management system, and of course you're going to have to initialize the job management system, which is going to take in its own little management info, allowing you to toggle on and off priority queuing alongside dynamic load rebalancing, which allows basically your CPU and ME to basically be used interchangeably in order to basically make sure that the two CPUs are carrying about the same weight and load. This way you can really start to begin to analyze the benefits of the program, and you're going to be able to do a lot more with that. Once you've added it to the job queue, it's automatically just going to be taken care of, as there's a running update thread which checks every frame, so every 16 milliseconds, for new jobs to do, and then goes ahead and executes them on the next frame, which is going to be basically doing a lot of the management and loading during the time between V-blanks and stuff like that, which is really going to help optimize your CPU and ME usage. This also makes it a lot faster for a lot of programs in order to basically use this synchronization, and it's going to be able to go ahead and do everything in order. Now when you're running on the CPU, it's going to be of course a forced synchronization because the actual job needs to run in full, whereas if you do it on the ME, it's going to be asynchronous. Of course, between every sort of CPU job that you do, or job that you force to be on the CPU, it's going to be basically having a little bit of a lag time, or it's going to have a little bit of resting time, which is going to execute the rest of your normal program. So that's really it for sort of usage of the Media Engine library right now. But one of the things that you're going to be noticing is that you're going to have to clean it up, obviously, on close, which isn't too much of a big deal either. Of course, I'm going to be adding one more feature to it, which is going to be the priority queuing, as I haven't necessarily done that yet. So the way that priority queuing is going to work is that it's going to analyze the next 5 jobs that you're going to have in the queue, or an arbitrary number, which you could probably pass in as a setting. But basically you're going to be able to pass in however many things into the queue, and then basically what it's going to result in is that it's going to go ahead and look for the different priorities. It's going to basically use an algorithm where the higher the number is, the lower the value is going to be, of course, for your overall priority. And then it's going to also factor in the priority itself, which is going to be a sort of factor that allows you to see what are the higher priorities are going to be raised up, and the medium is going to stay in the middle, it's not going to be changed, and the lower is going to be reduced by half. That way, basically what you're going to be able to do is that of your next however many sort of jobs that you're going to do, it's going to prioritize them accordingly, and it's going to prioritize them also according to order. This way you're going to be able to run all of your jobs, and it's going to allow you to do a lot more. This way higher priority jobs will be done first, whereas normal, medium, and lower priorities are going to be a lot lower. It also does factor in the order in which you put it in, and of course it's going to make sure that some of them will always execute. There's also a flag inside of the job information structure that allows you to override whether or not it's going to execute or not, in what order, and it's going to always force it to execute. This way we can keep synchronization and things like that, and it's going to help out a lot. So thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.